Hello, everybody. David Shuster here. Critics of Donald Trump have long said that he is crazy, but Donald Trump himself is now intensifying the argument that he has dementia, thanks to this.
Well, President Trump says he wants to reopen the notorious Alcatraz prison off the coast of California to house America's worst of the worst.
Keep in mind that one of the key signs of dementia is the inability to remember things or find the right word.
And it's long been a symbol, Alcatraz, of whatever it is.
It's a sad symbol, whatever it is. Come on, Mr. President.
It's a sad symbol, but it's a symbol of law and order. And, it's got quite a history, frankly. So I think we're going to do that, and we're looking at it right now.
Another indicator of dementia is the suspension of reality. White House staff say that they didn't have any plans about Alcatraz or even consider it until Donald Trump mentioned it this weekend. And even Fox News says the idea that it would be somehow inexpensive or easy to do is insane.
Alcatraz, pretty forbidding, frigid place. Housed Al Capone, Machine Gun Kelly, Mickey Cohen, but it'd have to be rebuilt almost entirely. It's so outdated and crumbling. And here's the important part. It has landmark status. So there would be an avalanche of lawsuits that would probably tie it up for years.
In other words, Alcatraz is not going to be reopened, even if Donald Trump somehow loves the idea because of a movie that he watched over the weekend. Another sign of dementia is confusion, as in not understanding or not remembering what your job is.
President Trump, who told an interviewer that he doesn't know if he's required to uphold the Constitution.
Don't you need to uphold the Constitution of the United States as president?
I don't know. I have to respond by saying again, I have brilliant lawyers that work for me.
Less than 4 months ago, Donald Trump took the presidential oath of office from one of the highest profile lawyers in the United States, the U.S. Supreme Court Chief Justice. And Trump made this pledge.
Preserve, protect, and defend.
Preserve, protect, and defend.
The Constitution of the United States.
The Constitution of the United States.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Now, never mind Donald Trump forgetting his pledge to protect and defend the Constitution. Donald Trump also seems at a loss these days over the Declaration of Independence, a copy of which, an early copy, hangs in the Oval Office.
Of course, you have the Declaration of Independence.
What does it mean to you?
Well, it means exactly what it says. It's a declaration. It's a declaration of unity and love and respect, and it means a lot. And it's something very special to our country.
Check out Terry Moran's perplexed face. You see, the Declaration of Independence is not a declaration of unity and love and respect. It lists 27 specific complaints against King George III and the British government. The colonists in the 13 colonies used the Declaration as a rallying cry to fight and kill British troops during the Revolutionary War. Now, another sign of dementia, aside from forgetting things and memory loss, is repetition. And over the past several weeks, Donald Trump has repeatedly obsessed and bashed the Wall Street Journal, and he did it again over the weekend on Air Force One.
Who are you with? The Wall Street Journal. That's right. Well, you people treat us so badly. Wall Street Journal has truly gone to hell. Go ahead. It's a rotten newspaper. You hear what I said? It's a rotten newspaper.
Are there any updates and talks with
I wouldn't tell the Wall Street Journal because it'd be wasting my time. There are talks, but I don't want to talk to the Wall Street Journal. But look, Wall Street Journal is China-oriented, and they're really bad for this country.
Now, to be fair, Donald Trump is not the only member of his administration to say or do things that sound nutty, or to lose some perspective, or to abandon reality. Attorney General Pam Bondi has made some claims about the administration preventing fentanyl deaths.
Since Donald Trump has been in office, DEA has seized over 21 million fentanyl pills. That's 21 million lives saved, in my opinion.
21 million pills means 21 million deaths? Keep in mind that last year, the total number of deaths from fentanyl, while horrible in the United States, was 70,000. But just in the first 4 months of the Trump administration, the administration has saved 21 million lives? Pam Bondi corrected herself 2 days later.
Since he's been in office, DEA has taken 22 0.2 million fentanyl pills off the streets and seized, listen, 1,400 pounds of pure fentanyl. This is 119 million lives Donald Trump has saved since January. Pretty remarkable.
119 million? The entire population of the United States is 340 million. So Bondi is saying that the Trump administration saved 1 out of every 3 Americans. And then Pam Bondi changed it again.
You have been in office, President Trump. Your DOJ agencies have seized more than 22 million fentanyl pills, 3,400 kilos of fentanyl since you've been your last 100 days, which saved, are you ready for this, media? 258 million lives.
The Trump administration has saved 258 million lives. In just 4 months, 2 out of every 3 Americans have had their lives saved by the Trump administration. That's the level of insanity and craziness that surrounds Donald Trump. But of course, the dementia and the wild claims all starts with Trump himself. And one of the things that is another sign of dementia, at least seems to be another sign of dementia, is when older people tend to watch a lot of Fox News and don't really have any judgment to separate fact from fiction. Well, we know Donald Trump is watching Fox News, and we know that he was watching when Karl Rove criticized Trump for posting an image of himself, Trump, as the Pope.
You know, just tweeting out a picture of you as the Pope is deeply offensive to a great many people.
Rove also criticized Trump in the Abrego Garcia case.
Going out there and saying, for example, this guy from Maryland, I don't know whether he's a good guy or a bad guy. I don't know if he's a gang member or not. But the fact is bring him back to the United States, lay out the facts in a court of law, and get it done.
Late at night on his True social media page, Donald Trump erupted. He thundered, "I don't need to have Karl Rove of Fox News to tell me what to do. The guy's a total loser who's been wrong about almost everything." Trump is like that old geezer who yells at the neighborhood kids, "Get off my lawn!" And by the way, a few more signs of dementia include lashing out and, again, losing all perspective and judgment. And clearly, Donald Trump's judgment is worse than ever. He is forgetful, he cannot grasp complex ideas, and he is clearly prone to fits of anger. Now, whether Donald Trump actually has dementia or not is irrelevant, because the U.S. Constitution's 25th Amendment calls for the removal of a president who cannot faithfully exercise the duties of his office. And clearly, Donald Trump cannot faithfully execute the duties of his office, and everybody knows it, perhaps even a majority of his cabinet and the vice president who would be required to make that declaration in order to remove Donald Trump. But they lack the courage to tell the truth. And the truth is that Donald Trump is crazier and more insane than ever, and he is increasingly a greater danger to all of us. By the way, Donald Trump's trade wars are causing the ports of the United States to empty and to have store shelves become even more barren.
What we're seeing now is that cargo coming in from Asia will be down by about 35% until we get some semblance or signals that trade deals are on the way.
Gene Soroka is the Port of LA executive director.
We only have 7 ships in port today. Okay. Normally on a Wednesday, you'd see 12 to 14 vessels. The worst case scenario is less choice on store shelves and online buying. Prices spike and families are really becoming tighter with their budgets.
Check out that video at the link below. It generated a lot of comments on YouTube. One of the most popular is from Ellen, who wrote, "Trump needs to be removed immediately." I hear ya. I look forward to reading your comments about Donald Trump seemingly suffering even more now from dementia. I'm David Shuster. Thanks for joining us.